Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the In My Era podcast. Also, the last episode for the foreseeable future. Welcome to, guys, I'm gonna not laugh at this. Welcome to the end of an era. God damn it. God fucking damn it. I feel like a little bit, I don't even know, a little bit emotional over this. Only because the In My Era podcast has just been such a formative experience in my 20s. I've had this podcast for 2 years, and they've been two of the most transformative years of my entire life so far. Just the amount that I've changed and the amount that I feel like I've really stepped into becoming who I am, and just having that all documented on the podcast is just so cool, and also just so bittersweet to know that this is the end of it, you know? And because of that, this week I wanted to talk about the ending of things and the feelings that come up with endings, but what happens after something ends. So I have my notes. I'm going to go over them really quickly to make sure that I don't miss anything that I want to talk about. Sometimes I feel like endings have a negative connotation because oftentimes when something is ending, there is some sort of emotional response, because when something ends, it can be really uncomfortable because all that your body is used to is a certain pattern. So when that pattern is no longer repeating, your body, your mind is kind of like, what the fuck? What is happening? And it brings up a lot of fear, I would say. Maybe sadness, questions, just a lot of uncertainty. And what I have always told myself in times of endings or just change in general is that I want to make this feeling into something beautiful, into something that will change my life for the better. I am going to take this thing that is ending, and I am going to make this the best thing that has ever happened to me. Because our perspectives in which we see endings are truly the only thing that we have control over. And our perspective is what builds what happens next. And something that I have just seen in my own life is every time something ends, especially when I'm not ready for it to end, especially when it is not my decision for the ending, something beautiful is born after that. And sometimes it doesn't even correlate to whatever it is ending. It's just like when one thing leaves my life, especially when I don't want it, I've come to find that something usually enters my life that is way better. Okay? And an example that I have is this last year, all right? This last year, okay, whatever. These last couple years have been the best years of my life, but also simultaneously the hardest years of my life, because I'm just becoming really conscious and aware of fucking everything. So I was living at this apartment with Megan, and this apartment had the worst fucking cockroach infestation. I got a puppy, and then I realized that I had to rehome it. Like, that would be the best for the dog and for me. And so I was just fucking going through it. I was just, oh my God, you guys. I think that was the most depressed that I've ever been in my entire life, was working as a nanny and literally hating my life because I just, for some reason, I was not compatible with these children. And then coming home to a horrific cockroach infestation and this puppy that just needed so much from me that I wasn't able to give it, both financially, mentally, and physically. You know what I mean? It just felt like I was failing in every single piece of my life. And I feel like one thing that I would grasp onto was this. Damn, this is so personal. Oh well, we're going out with a bang. I would grasp onto this relationship that I had with this boy that I was in love with. And it was like, even though our relationship was kind of tumultuous, I would say, it was never quite secure. Even though our relationship was tumultuous, he would kind of comfort me, ground me, balance out the rest of the chaos in my life. I felt like he was like my rock in a way, or at least I was relying on him emotionally as such. And then he ended up meeting somebody new who he wanted to obviously pursue a relationship with, which completely and utterly just shattered me. Like, honestly, like, that fucked me up. To this day, I'd be lying if I said that it didn't fuck me up a little bit. It fucks me up a little bit. But the point of the story is that I did not want that little comfort zone relationship, friendship to come to an end, but that was not my decision, right? So like, I was down in the dumps. This boy is telling me he literally cannot have any sort of contact with me because he is with somebody else, which I obviously respect. And so there I am, depressed, working a job that I hate. I had just rehomed my puppy, so I was depressed because I felt like a complete and utter failure. This person who I thought was the love of my life told me that they wanted to be with somebody else. Oh, damn, I didn't think I still had juice left in me from that, but holy shit, that was like a really fucking hard time in my life. Okay? And all of that was ending, and I literally was just like, I'm so fucking down bad right now. There is absolutely nothing more that I have left to give. There is nothing that I have to fight for. There is nothing that I have to strive for right now. I literally was like, guys, I fucking turned to God. I'd never been religious like before last year, genuinely, but like, I literally just turned to God. I was like, you know what? I am recognizing that right now, I don't have control over my life, over who leaves my life, who comes into my life, over like these circumstances at which I was given. And so I surrender. I was like, I give it up. I trust that these things that you are taking out of my life, you're taking out of my life for a reason. And I trust that they will be replaced with something beautiful. And I think that was like the first time in my life that I truly surrendered how I was feeling just to something external that wasn't another human being. I think because sometimes when I would like put all of my emotional well-being on another person, obviously that's not going to work out because that's not somebody else's responsibility, which I've learned now. But I gave it up to God. And then I swear it was like January 1st of the new year. My bosses at the surf shop that I work at sat me down and they were like, Haley, like, we want you to like be the manager, like we want you to run this, like we want to give you a raise and we want to pay you like X amount of money to do these things for us. And I was not expecting this. Like, this wasn't something that I was planning for. It was literally just something that was offered to me. And I was so excited because I was like, wait, what do you mean? Like, I could get paid to do something that I literally love so much that it literally just feels like I'm having fun? That's crazy. And then right after I was offered that job, I was able to get out of my lease, which had all the cockroaches, and move up to Encinitas, California, which is in North County, San Diego, which has been my dream to live here since I came up here in college. It's like 20 minutes away from like downtown San Diego, 20 minutes to like 30, depending. It's my dream to live here. And it literally was, what it felt like was that there were all of these endings in the fall to the winter, all of these things that fucking tore me down to the studs. Like, I seriously have never felt like more of a shell of myself than like how I felt last year. And then it was like all of these beginnings just started presenting themselves to me. And then for the first time in my entire life, I found what it felt like to feel peace, to feel aligned, to feel true love within myself as the source, and to have a relationship with something outside of myself that is greater, that I still am not sure if it's like God or a certain religion. I just think of it as like God or like the source or like the universe or whatever. I have fucking no idea, to be honest. But the peace and alignment and like the rebirth that came after the ending, it just was so much greater than anything that I had experienced before. And that has built confidence in endings. Whereas this year, I don't see endings as big and dramatic and sad and daunting. I almost see endings as exciting because something new gets to come after this. And for the last 2 years, the podcast has felt right. It's been an amazing outlet for me to use emotionally. It's been like a therapist, creatively. It's helped me find my voice and build confidence in freely expressing it, even when there are a fuck ton of people who are like, you shouldn't say that, or you shouldn't do that. There's just so many fucking opinions. It's helped solidify, I would say, my confidence within myself and what I truly believe that my purpose is, which is to express myself and create like a safe enough community where other people feel safe to express themselves and pursue their passions and just find and live a true and authentic life. So that's been amazing. But the podcast doesn't really feel like my thing anymore. To be honest, I feel like I was journaling about it and I was writing about all of the things that I do that just feel so like me. Like when I do these activities, I just feel like pure sunshine. Like I am exactly where I'm meant to be. And then I was thinking about how I feel when I record and edit the podcast, or how I feel when I talk about the podcast. And while I am proud of myself for doing it, while I am overall proud of it and like the message, it's just not, I would say, as aligned as I want my projects to be right now. And I think in ending this, at least for now, who knows, maybe I'll start it up again in the future with a little bit of a rebrand, which I have been thinking about. But with the ending of this, I just know that it'll create so much more space and energy and time for me to focus on the things that do feel more aligned. And I am truly so excited for that. I'm excited to get to know new versions of myself. I'm excited to, question what it is that I'm doing and talk to people and figure out new things that I love equally as much. And I'm just so grateful that I have had this experience of, registering an LLC to build this as a possible platform for a business, and finding website domains and learning about graphics and marketing and software tools to help you edit. And just I've learned so much from this. And even more than that, I feel like the support that I have found around the podcast has just been really cool. And I feel like if you're listening, I just want you to know, I am truly so grateful for all of my friends who have listened, all of my people who don't like me, who have listened because they don't like me, which is funny. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for my coworkers who listen, my bosses who support me in all of my passions. I feel like the support, no matter how big and small, has just given me the confidence to know that if there's something that I want to do, I can do it. And the right people will support me. And the wrong people who don't support me will actually still be equally supporting me, because haters for some reason tune in like more than everyone else. Not that I even have haters that I know of. I don't know, it built me. It gave me a lot of confidence to just feel good moving forward in whatever it is that I pursue next, knowing that there are so many people in the world who want to see me succeed and they want to see me grow. And the feeling is so mutual, back and forth. If you're listening to this, I want you to know that you truly can do anything. Anything is possible, no matter how successful you are or are not. Sorry, weird bird just like flew out my window and then pivoted away. That was weird. No matter how much money you make from something or don't, like, anything is possible. And I just hope that if there's something that you want to do, I hope that you try it. And I hope that you see it through until that point where you just know that it is right for it to stop. Because life was made to be lived. Life was made to create and love and feel and find your own sense of alignment. And that is ever changing, but it is beautiful. In My Era was created that first time in my life where I felt like I truly felt like myself. And now In My Era is coming to a close because I now feel even more like myself. And I'm confident in knowing that stepping away from this is the right decision for now. I just feel grateful. I feel grateful and I feel sad. I almost feel like, fuck, I'm like, I don't want to stop talking. Like, I'm not ready for it to be done. Even though I know that I am. It's not a goodbye. It's a see you around. It's a see you later. It's a see you in all of my other projects that I have coming up. Yeah, I guess, whatever. Follow me on Instagram. Probably don't follow me on TikTok because, low-key, I don't feel like doing TikTok anymore. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Substack. I don't know. Just stay tuned. Enjoy your life. If you're listening, you are so loved. And I hope that you embrace the next ending of your life with excitement for whatever is to come next. Goodbye, you guys.